Hi, this is Lee Wallace. While I'm not officially a student of the subject, I've attended probably 70% of the sessions, and I wanted to leave a few thoughts using the assessment framework. So I looked at a model of Apartments for Life, which was my living lab, which got me thinking about buildings where care occurs and the role of the building and the organisation that operates within them. Apartments for Life are currently a Dutch over 50s model, which could be extended to be multi-generational and adaptable as life events change during our housing needs. Homes should also be accessible for all to have better housing access, no matter their ability. Diversity would be optimal in Apartments for Life. Let's call them vertical villages. That is representative of the community. The communities create vibrancy and longevity due to the multi-generational living. Family may be in an apartment next door or on another floor in the building. Organisations that support the community could also cohabit the building, and this would be people like GPs, childcare, dentists, retail, greengrocers, cafes, bars, even a restaurant. So one thing that's come up is been unpaid care and how that relates in a home, which is a building. So in order to resolve the issue of unpaid care, the obvious question is, how might this be valued? And I thought, well, something like shadow pricing could tell what the market cost of that care is. So in the Apartments for Life model, could there be an exchange of unpaid care using the shadow pricing, and then an exchange with another service where it had already been paid for? For example, the unpaid care might be 10 hours at $22 an hour, which allows the feminised workforce to access $220 of services that they need. It could be superannuation or leave or something else. The infrastructure to support that may be a broker that manages a platform where the exchange actually occurs. Unpaid care could be taken at face value in the first instance, while data is collected to verify the validity of any exchange. Who could that building owner be for the Apartments for Life model? Could be a super fund or someone else seeking a long-term return for long-term tenants. Be looking to increase a diversity of residents, so trying to create a vertical village. I'd also suggest people can come in and buy in at cost and have access to an apartment for their lifetime. A similar model happens, I believe it's a co-op, and the group is the Old Colonists, which was originally set up for retiring artists, and it's still going to this day. You can buy in, or you can pay a daily, affordable daily rate to live there. And it's a bit like a village, but a horizontal village. So imagine buildings and their organisations are also now responsible for their employees' comfort and safety. So how might organisations care? How to make a safe, comfortable and adaptable for those who work in and for those who come there to get support. And I'm thinking about a hospital, a bank, a restaurant, organisations that seek to provide experiences that make employees want to come to work. And what the idea is to match the values of what care is for patients, clients, and then replicating that care by the organisation for employees. So you're getting a double care model within the one organisation. Uncomfortable conversations could be easier in a vertical village like the Apartments for Life, and it would be easier by having something like a community funeral service. There's a community startup that's been setting up again in co-ops, and they're called Tender Funerals. So they're bringing grief services back into the community and making the invisible visible. So that would be another organisation that could be good to have in a Apartments for Life building. Just like to also acknowledge that mostly institutional care is more expensive than at-home care. So an Apartment for Life that is accessible and adaptable for each of our life events and stages could be enhanced by the businesses in the vertical villages. As I said before, things like GPs, childcare, cafes, restaurants, the funeral director, the greengrocer, the gardener. Paid care and micro-volunteering that would support residents and form part of any platform and brokerage that creates a market between paid and unpaid care and other services. People who live in the Apartments for Life, in particular elders, if their lives were valued, their skills, knowledge and experience was valued, it may encourage them to be part of a local business or a community organisation and contributing their wise counsel in whatever form they choose. Could be volunteering, they might be doing a startup, or it could be paid work. An Apartments for Life building, I'd also imagine, would have exhibition space or spaces. Could be the building's corridors on each floor, and artwork on those walls may be rotated on a 6 monthly basis. It would be something that's curated, and I'd suggest having storage facilities in each apartment, and I reckon that would be a pull-out double-sided wall that houses artworks and also could be a room divider. I see it as a family archive that's a place to capture memories and create heirlooms, which then feeds into additional spaces are needed. Let's call them art spaces, where there'd be an opportunity to teach people art, craft, music, singing, place to learn. And then if we start thinking about art spaces, which is about the mind, how about some kind of physicality spaces which keep people fit and well? Things like climbing walls, strength training, and mental agility spaces. What is the infrastructure needed to create some of these things? There would need to be some kind of platform and broker to value the paid and unpaid leave, some kind of recording tool for elder stories, everyone's stories, in fact, dance, audio, video. As I've said before, affordable, accessible, adaptable buildings to live in long term with investors. An app to match elders with volunteers to create the community micro volunteering. Play infrastructure, a pool, trampoline, bikes, and as I said, the climbing wall. Maybe a ballroom where dances, exhibition, feasts and indoor spaces happen. Need to be adaptable. You'd need openable windows for cross ventilation, low or no volatile organic compound walls and materials. It would need built-in furniture and higher room heights, which could be used in different ways, making life easy for people. And who are all these people that would need to be involved? So we'd need architects and community, something like the Nightingale housing model, families, multi-generational, plus singles. You'd need your finance people, super funds, government, investors, landowners, council. You'd need an app developer, a comms person for social media, TikTok, and connecting with the community, and businesses, GPs, childcares, cleaners, schools, restaurants, cafe, bar, startup community, an energy provider, photovoltaics on the roof or on the walls, battery, water tanks, and filtration. So all of this is part of one big idea, which is Apartments for Life, the vertical village, and what it's doing, it's creating a cohesive whole, as well as looking at what are the patterns within a home, putting these into a building, making it familiar but also personalised.